we are at a point where we're sort of crossing the uncanny valley. So it becomes really difficult to distinguish between what has synthetically been created versus what's a real video or real voice. Hi, my name is Kevin Baxpehler. I'm the co-founder and managing partner of Remagine Ventures. We invest in early stage, pre-seed and seed at the intersection of AI and consumer entertainment technologies. We were exposed to generative AI fairly early on in our journey because at the end of the day, a lot of the GenAI tools today help you create text, images, video, audio, which are all building blocks around media, entertainment, and gaming. And we're lucky enough to invest in 2019 already on our first transformer model. So since then, we've followed up a few times and are always on the lookout for new entrepreneurs building in this space. Synthetic content is, or synthetic media or synthetic data is content that has been created entirely by algorithms. So it's, some people often call it fake. We prefer synthetic, because it might display or talk about very truthful events, or it might be very accurate, but it wasn't created by a person. It was created by an algorithm. So an example is, for example, synthetic video, where a camera was not used to create the video. So you didn't have any film crew or a person standing in front of the camera, but the entire video, every single pixel was synthetically created and is thus changeable. And that's a good example of synthetic content. Synthetic content will allow and reduce the cost of production significantly. To go back to the video example, in the past, most companies need to produce some sort of video content, either for their customers or for their clients, to be on social media, webinars, etc. Even to onboard employees, for example, to sell products and services online. A video is much more effective than just text. And there's it's always been costly and time consuming to create, right? Because you need to get a person in front of into a studio, you need to write a script, you need to film it, you need to post edit it. So there goes a lot of time and effort into creating a video content. Same for a podcast, right? You need about 8 to 9 hours to create an hour of podcast. And if you can create that synthetically by simply writing the text and then having the video being created, or having the podcast being created, that reduces the cost of production drastically. So it'll become available to everybody, not just to folks with a studio at home or people who really know how to create content. We expect the production of content and content creation, also the content distribution organization to become basically democratized. Yeah, so it depends a bit, but if you're creating synthetic data, you have to really make sure that the data you train your machine learning algorithms on is accurate or accurately resembles the real world, and the real world is changing. So there are inherent risks with synthetic data, with synthetic content, that how accurately does it reflect the real world, and so that's something I would again look out for. Where's your training data from? How accurate and how good is your training data? And so that's one pitfall I would highlight. Another one, obviously, is how you deploy those solutions, right? You don't want to. You have to have. You can't give everybody a tool of destruction into the hand. So if you can create a clone of someone, or if you can clone a voice and this video of myself, I don't want everybody with an iPhone or an Android and an app to be able to do that. So there's some ethical considerations to think about as well. And then regulation. The regulation is still at its infancy. There's very little regulation. So that's something that founders will struggle with when they start offering the synthetic tools as a service to other companies. Yes, I think it's really important. I think it'll become a big topic with a lot of the deepfake issues that we already are seeing. So the best advice and that I can give anybody is really be transparent about the synthetic content or the synthetic data that you create. Make sure your customers and clients know that whether you want to watermark it or not is going to be up to you. But we are at a point where we're sort of crossing the uncanny valley. So it becomes really difficult to distinguish between what has synthetically been created versus what's a real video or real voice. And so A, make sure you're transparent and upfront about what you're doing, and B, also be ethical about who you win as a client, who you agree to sell this to. So I think that's those two are really key. And you don't want to have anybody as a client. You want to have also clients that use your tools and services in an ethical way. Yeah, sure. So, I'm going back to one of my companies called Hour One creates synthetic video. So you type in a prompt and you don't need a studio camera, and you can create a video based on textual prompts. Again, it's there. These are, you can call them deepfake videos, but so the ethical approach about this is to be very transparent about it. And we early on decided, or the founders also early on decided, not to turn this into a consumer product where suddenly everybody can create digital twins of other people, but to go the B2B route and to make sure that the clients who use this is not some Russian troll farm, but legitimate businesses. And I think that's a very good example.